Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. This week I'm going to be running you through stress. So I put on my Instagram a few posts and stories about how I've been very stressed at the moment and how stress impacts your physique. It can make you like really watery, really inflamed. If you are dieting and you're in a deficit, it can mask the weight loss on the scale. So I've literally not seen a drop in the last 6 weeks, and I just wanted to get this YouTube out there as kind of like the part 1 where I'm just explaining what exactly I'm doing and what my hypothesis is for what I think is going to happen to my physique. And then part 2, because obviously I need to like do all the things I'm saying I'm going to do, will be showing you the results of implementing all those things and how my body's responded to them. And hopefully my hypothesis is correct that implementing all these strategies will give me a drop on the scales and a change in my body physique. So I'll do like a physique update and show you what my body's looking like now, which is like kind of puffy, watery, inflamed, and then I will show you in 2 weeks time or so how my body's responded to all the strategies that I've implemented that I'm going to be talking about in this video. So if you're a stressed person, this is going to be fantastic for you, or if you are someone that doesn't even realize you are stressed but you're dieting and you're not seeing results and you're definitely in a deficit and you're sticking to your diet 100%, then you'll definitely get a lot out of this video. So hopefully it's really helpful. And see, this is why I don't film on Thursdays, because there's always some kind of freaking noise. Anyway, let's get to it. Morning. I'm just gonna do that little physique update to show you guys what my current physique looks like with all of the stress and before implementing all of the de-stressing things. So I'm just gonna show you quickly. Alright, so really like my observations with that are I'm feeling watery and inflamed. Like, I'm not saying my body looks bad by any means, but it's just a bit inflamed and watery. And people ask like, how do you know when your body's watery and inflamed? It's just this feeling like there's just a bit of puffiness in my body and it's not as kind of tight and lean as it usually is. I don't have like a better way to explain it than that. Just less defined, less tight. So my goal is to drop that water and inflammation, and yeah, you could just see like my stomach was a bit fuller and bigger than it usually is. So we'll see what the next few weeks looks like, and I'll also share some before and after pics once I've got that done. Hey guys, oh my goodness, I am lying in bed at 11 o'clock. Like, my energy is just gone. Like, it's actually an effort to hold the camera up right now. I think I've just been like pushing. I've had 2 coffees and I'm like yawning. I think I've just been pushing myself so hard with business. Like, I can't tell you the last time I had a day off. And that's not me complaining. Like, I love what I do and I choose not to take days off because I like working and I like, you know, it's my life. It really is my life and it's my choice. But I'm just to give you context of why I'm feeling pretty exhausted. I don't really stop. I do listen to my body, but sometimes when you're so busy you can't even hear it until it screams at you. I just want to preface this by saying to lose weight we need to be in a calorie deficit. That is rule number 1. It overrides everything. If it's not working on the scale, eventually it has to. It can be masked, which I've talked about before, by stress and inflammation. The body can retain a lot of water and weight, so not fat but weight, on the scale, which makes you feel like you're not losing fat, and it's like, it's frustrating. It makes it really hard to stick to. Hey guys, I'm coming to you from my car because I'm just about to head to the gym and I wanted to show you a low volume training program. So volume is our sets by our reps. So you can do low volume programs different ways. I'm hitting the gym 4 times a week. I could even drop it back to 3 times a week. I have few exercises, I have few sets, and they're not super high reps or really intense sessions. So I'm still lifting heavy weights. Like, they're intense in terms of trying to challenge myself with the weights that I'm actually lifting, but I'm not going for huge PBs. I'm not like totally smashing myself into the ground. Literally going to show you today's program is 3 exercises only. Usually I'd be going a lot heavier than I'm going to be doing in this session, but this is how you manipulate your training to help if you're stalled due to stress. So I just wanted to show you that side of things. So let's get to the gym.
Hey. If I ever took it, I'll made it bad. Told the dogs that we gon' get it, that's a fact. They counting on me, I can't let my people down. Standing tall, 10 toes to the ground. If I ever took it, I'll made it bad. Told the dogs that we gon' get it, that's a fact. They counting on me, I can't let my people down, yeah. Standing tall, 10 toes to the ground,
I was eating those free lunches, now I'm paid from these rats. I've been spazzing here lately, they done told me just relax. They been sleeping on the boy, I don't ever take no naps. Got that rubber band flow, they just told me I done snapped. And I'm going in further than they ever thought I would. They trying to talk to me, I told them not a word. I've been up on it, I swear that I'm coming, they killing me. Don't want to smoke, I got firewood. I've been moving, ayy, I cannot lose it, ayy. I swear I'm glowing up, now I illuminate, yeah. This year I'm blowing up, no exceptions. I've been going in. Check the expressions, I swear lately you can feel it now. I got them stressing, tell them all, I swear I got the answers. Just keep them guessing, yeah.
Look, I don't got the time to kick it with you. You don't really see the bigger picture. From the side where they wait for you to fail, then you go and prove them wrong. Now they swear they knew you well. We ain't friends, nah, I don't do the fake. Keep a black pair of Timbs on, watching for the snake. Bruce Wayne through the city, gotta watch her for the J. 12 tryna keep me cuffed, I don't really do the dates. I been jugging and finessing, I ain't never had a job. Young and getting to the business, we ain't never had a ride. I don't even gotta say it, they already know the game. Never switch up for the fame, makes a change and I ain't changed. Young Mitchell, if I ever took it, I'll made it bad. Told the dogs that we gon' get it, that's a fact. They counting on me, I can't let my people down. Standing tall, 10 toes to the ground. If I ever took it, I'll made it bad. Told the dogs that we gon' get it, that's a fact.
Hi, so I've returned from the gym and I'm gonna make some lunch. Does anyone else snack whilst they make food? I do. These are blueberries. I always find I'm like, you know, you make food when you're hungry. It's like, I'm hungry now. I'm gonna make a sandwich. I went to the gluten-free bakery that is near my house and they've got really good like gluten-free bread. So I am gluten-free and dairy-free at the moment for life. So basically after a training session, I just make sure I get in carbs and protein. So I'll get in my carbs from the bread, sandwich bread, and protein I'm gonna have chicken. I don't have any like saucy thing like with mayonnaise, you know, like an OG sandwich. Anyway, I don't have anything like that. So I'm gonna make an avocado mix thing that will like juice it up a bit. Cook some mushrooms to saute, and yeah, I'll show you guys what I'm having. Sounds really good. I'm excited. And then I'm gonna have a little sit down and chat to you about what I'm doing differently with my nutrition during this stressful period. Alright guys, I just wanted to break down the 3 factors that I'm hitting as part of this like de-stressing, helping my body push through this highly stressed phase or patch of my life, which is so normal as part of people's lives. Like everyone's gonna go through different phases of higher stress, lower stress. So it's really important to know how to modify and adjust your training, nutrition, and health lifestyle, I guess, to be healthy and to continue to get results. So the 3 things I've broken this down into are training, nutrition, and lifestyle. So what happens when we're stressed? Why am I doing all of these things? Why am I so heavily focused on de-stressing? Well, one, it's not fun. Obviously, it doesn't feel good to feel stressed, but what does it actually do to our body? So I was dieting for like 6 weeks and I was noticing no drop on the scale, despite being in quite an aggressive deficit. So my maintenance calories are probably around 2,000, 2,100 at the moment, and I was dieting on 1,450 calories, which is quite an aggressive deficit. So when you're in quite an aggressive deficit, you expect to see results pretty quick and pretty consistently. Now, there were times where I had those weddings, which I showed you guys, so I wasn't 100% on my diet, but I was on it enough to know that I was in a deficit and should have been dropping weight. It's impossible not to lose weight if you're in a caloric deficit. So what the hell happened? Stress happened. I don't feel like I'm really that stressed. There's a difference between, oh my God, I'm really stressed, I've got all these things to do, and having all these things going on and your body absorbing that stress without you even realizing. I think there are a lot of people out there that carry around high volumes of stress, but they've actually just become adjusted to how much stress they have in their lives. It's interesting that my body has like shown me that I'm stressed without me even kind of realizing. So it's kind of like a compounding effect of like, I didn't take any breaks over Christmas. I train really hard. The stress of dieting, like these are all stressful factors, and everything that's going on with my business on top of that, bad sleep, and then there's the stress of figuring out what the hell's going on with my skin. So there's just been a lot going on. What I'm doing now with my nutrition is I've brought my calories back up to 1900 calories. My estimated maintenance is around 2000, 2100. So it is still a very slight deficit for me. But basically what bringing in more food is going to hopefully do is help with the stress. So when we're stressed, like I said, dieting is added stress and training is added stress. So when we're stressed, the body tends to like hold on to water. It can be very watery, very inflamed. This masks weight loss. So on the scales, it might say like you're not dropping any weight because you're very fluidy and watery, and that has weight. Like I notice myself, if I've had like a huge sleep or something, I have a drop on the scale the next day because it's like you've been dieting, but you've been stressed. So it's just masking it. And then as soon as you bring your stress levels down, bang, you hit that weight that you've been in a deficit working towards that whole time, and it's like revealed it. For a period of time, I was like, just keep pushing with the deficit. You'll have that drop, it'll all clear up. 6 weeks of dieting with no results is really unmotivating. So it kind of got to the point where it was like I had two options. I could either continue dieting and push through and inevitably have that drop, which would cause even more stress on my body, or I could bring my calories back up to estimated maintenance or near maintenance and figure out what my maintenance calories actually are, and then stay there for a while so that my body and stress levels kind of level out a bit. And the extra food is actually going to assist with the stress because it takes out the stress of dieting that's been put on my body. Once I do that, I'm gonna eat at maintenance for, it could be like 10 days, 2 weeks, it could be a month. Like I'm just gonna see how I feel, if I'm actually responding to eating more food and what happens with the scale. And from there, I can drop into a less aggressive deficit. So the cool thing with trying different diets, I know what my body responds to. It's not a super aggressive deficit. The 1450 calories is good for a short mini cut, like 4 weeks. But for me, someone with high stress, not long term, just doesn't work. So around 1500 is a good mark for me, and just consistently over time, I'm gonna just gradually drop. It's not gonna cause huge stress in the body, and I'm gonna see results, which is gonna keep me motivated. So once I've kind of leveled out, I'm going to drop my calories back down to 1600 if I'm feeling good, and see how my body responds to that and keep dieting, because I do have a goal to get leaner. And I do really wanna show you guys that even in a deficit, sometimes you don't see results. And it's not because you're not losing weight, it's because factors like stress and your cycle and everything and your sleep play into it. So I'm actually really excited that this has happened to me so I can show you guys. As I said, my hypothesis is that my weight will plateau. It might drop slightly, and I might shed a bit of water and inflammation, and my body will be looking different from the 6 weeks of dieting that I was doing. So consistency is key here. I really just need to hit those 1900 calories, hit my protein, and see what happens over the next kind of few weeks. So that's nutrition side covered. So 1900 calories. I'll show you a full day of eating in an upcoming YouTube on 1900 calories. Now, in terms of training is also a stress on the body. So it's stressful for our body to recover, to handle what we're putting it through, whether it's like cardio, whether it's weight training. So you can do things like low intensity, steady state cardio, your list cardio. So walks are really good. I've I do a lot of those. I still aim for 10,000 daily steps. But with weight training, what I do is drop the volume back. So I could be spreading my volume out across 3 or 4 days, depending on just how stressed I am. But I am sticking to 4 training days, and I only have like 3 to 4 exercises each day, and it's low volume, which is your sets times your reps. So you might have like high sets but low reps. You'll see in the workout that I showed you, I had 5 sets for my squats but only 3 reps every set. And for the deadlifts, I only had 3 sets, and I had quite low to moderate rep ranges. And I also dropped the weight back to what I typically lift for those lifts. So that's how you handle your training. You just drop the volume back and your body should respond pretty well to that. And then the final factor is lifestyle. So I try to implement as many de-stressing things as I can in my lifestyle, because it is quite a stressful lifestyle. Content I'm creating, like my mind never goes off, and that's something that I have to practice and just try and get really good at, because it is really hard when you run your own business and it's heavily around social media. You always feel like you could be doing more, replying to more, or creating more content. Like it is really hard to switch off. Essentially, the best thing for us is to not have stress. But in today's day and age, that's just not realistic. So things like meditation, which is something that I've actually stopped. So it's kind of interesting because my sleep has gone to shit. I'm like, maybe it's because I've stopped doing my 10 minutes of meditation every day. So I'm gonna bring that back. I have continued doing my low intensity steady state walks. So I go to the beach and I try not to be on my phone. I'll either listen to a podcast or listen to nothing and just be really present with like nature and the beach, and get some vitamin D, which helps too. Reading and journaling, just to get everything out of here onto paper, because often that's what stresses me out the most, that I'm gonna like forget something important. Being really productive with your day, like setting yourself up so you're not running late to appointments, because I'm often running late to things and that stresses me out, on top of any deadlines, any meetings, or any upcoming content that I've got to shoot. I'm not a very organized person. That's something that I'm working on getting better at, because that does stress me out. If I had a bathtub, I would have so many baths, but I don't. I'm actually gonna start going to the sauna again. My gym has a sauna, and I want to start getting fortnightly massages. Isn't it funny when it's like, oh, I really want to go and get a massage? It's like, so go do it. It's a really enjoyable thing, but for some reason you just don't make it happen. Is anyone else like that? Mental note. See, I'm already stressed. I'm like, don't forget to do this. Yeah, so if you're someone that you feel like maybe you are quite stressed, or the scales are being really stubborn and you are struggling to see results, I would suggest potentially having a diet break if you are dieting, and bringing your calories back up and reducing your training volume and keeping your walks and your steps in, and then focusing on the lifestyle factors that you can incorporate to support your poor little nervous system, all the cortisol. Another thing I'm doing is reducing to 1 cup of coffee a day, which hurts my soul, but my sleep has been so shit, as I mentioned. They are my tips for de-stressing and managing stress and the body, and the responses that the body comes up with when we are stressed. I hope this was really helpful. If you guys have any questions, as always, let me know in the comments. Make sure you subscribe, like, and as I said, comment, turn post notifications on, and I will be back. I was gonna say next week, but I don't know, maybe in a few days, because I'm doing these a lot more. So I'll be back really soon with another video for you, fam. Ew, I hate that I said that. I will be back with another video. Mwah.